Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I'll be sharing with you 5 things that I wish I knew before I went to grad school. Things that I believe you absolutely need to know so you can maximize your time as a grad student, especially if you're an international student. So keep watching this video. If you're a returning subscriber, welcome back to my channel. Thanks a lot for stopping by again today. And if you're new, welcome to my channel. My name is Doyin. I did my MBA at Yale, recently graduated, and on this channel I share a lot about that experience. I also share about getting scholarships, international student experiences and struggles, and I also share admission tips every week. So thanks for stopping by today, and make sure you subscribe before you leave today, please. So let's get started with today's video. So the first thing I wish I knew before coming to grad school is how to take advantage of being a student. So basically, when you're a student, there's a whole lot of doors that can be opened to you. So first, you're an international student, so that means you don't have a huge professional network in that country. So if you're in the US or in Canada or in the UK, wherever, if that's not your home country, you don't have a lot of professional network there, so you are almost starting from scratch. So what you want to do is actually prepare your mind to reach out to people. People are super willing to help students, and the response rate when you send emails with your school email as a student, I find out it's a lot higher than once you graduate. I don't know if once you graduate it's like signals this desperation or stuff, but I don't know. But a lot more people respond when you send them emails and say I'm a student, or you reach out to them on LinkedIn and say I'm a student, I would really like to know your experience in this industry, can you have some coffee chats with me? They are willing to help students, so take advantage of all of that. Also, if you want to go for a conference and you can't afford it, maybe it's a very expensive conference or seminar, you can actually reach out to the organizers with your school email and say, hi, I'm doing research in this area, I would like to come for this conference, can I get some student discount? I can't afford this. What if I bring a couple of friends? Can we get a discount? Like all those things, take advantage of all of those things. You also want to make sure, okay, for instance, you're an international student and you want to switch industry. So maybe you were working in banking and now you're interested in going into tech. It is important that you take advantage of being a student. So what you want to do is reach out to people that also maybe did that, switch, or people working in the industry you're interested in. Ask for coffee chats, ask for informational interviews, people like to talk a lot about themselves, so reach out. They will respond, they likely will, and the response rate from my experience pretty high compared to once you graduate, a lot less, so take advantage of all of those things while you're still in school. Where possible, send those emails with your school email. If you have to do LinkedIn, talk about the fact that you're a student and you're interested in this, and people will respond. So prepare your mind as you prepare to go to grad school to take advantage of your new title of being a student. People are willing to help you. Another thing I wish I knew before coming to grad school is how important projects and jobs are. So if you're an international student and you are trying to switch to a different industry, or you want to switch to a different role, or to you're switching geography if you're recruiting in the country where you're studying, one thing you must know is it is very important that you take on some jobs and projects. I understand it's difficult, and I understand you still have to pay attention to the visa limitations in terms of how many hours you can work per week. Those are true, those are valid, you should still pay attention to those, but it is important that you actually take on projects and take on jobs, either on campus or in the city where your school is located. And I'll tell you why. First is, I've noticed US experience in the US is very important. It is highly valued. This is not to say you can't get a job if you don't have US experience, but it is important. Many companies value it. Many companies, when they see your resume, for some reason they just want to pay attention to that US experience that you have, which might have been for 3 months compared to the 5 years experience you had in your home country. we'll discuss that in another video. But the truth is, US experience, if you're recruiting in the US, is important. And I've heard a lot about Canadian experience being important in Canada as well. So it is important that you take on jobs. Some are paid, some may be, unpaid. But you should take on those jobs. And these are things that I wish I knew coming in here. Take on jobs or lead projects while you're on campus. It might be in your school, it might be in the city where your school is located, it might be for someone that, might be for an alum. Just take on that projects that are related to the industry you want to, that you're interested in now, or that are related to the role that you're interested in. If you are coming from an investment banking background or consulting background back home, and now you're interested in tech, but you have no tech experience, so that's like you're switching industry. Maybe you are still going to be, maybe the same role, but this is a different industry. You should absolutely start, taking jobs with startups on campus that are, similar to the kind of tech product that you want to work on. So take on those jobs on campus, or reach out to founders in the area where your school is and ask that you actually take on these jobs. If they are willing to pay you, fine. If they are not, still take those jobs, because those things count when you begin to have interviews with these companies. You want to demonstrate that you have this experience. And this is, the second reason, of course, is that it is difficult. The fact that you're international already makes it difficult to get jobs, or more difficult than if you were, a local student or you're from that country. So it is already difficult for you, and you're switching careers. First, your international visa issues, you're switching an industry, you're switching a role, you're switching geography, all at the same time. The best way to get through that complexity is actually to take on a project that is very similar to the kind of roles that you'll be recruiting for. So try to take on projects on campus, try to reach out to founders in your area that are doing things that you think are similar to the industries or to the jobs you like to apply to. And that really helps, because on your resume you'll find out that many interviewers keep picking on your US experience, though they mention your foreign experience as well, but they just always want to pick on your local experience. And we could talk more about that in a different video, but it's important that as an international student, prepare your mind to actually apply for these projects and jobs while you're in school. The third thing I wish I knew before coming to grad school is how important it is to actually build relationships. Just the same way you have your career and academic goals for the program, actually have a goal to build relationships as well. And I know, depending on what country or what culture you're coming from, this might be very difficult for you, or also your personality, you don't quite, just socializing that much. It's a lot easier for some people, it's more difficult for other people. I understand that, but have it as a goal. If you have to go out of your way to get it done, and this is important because that network of people you have access to for those 2 years or for that 1 year, depending on the duration of your program, is huge. You don't know where these people will be in the future, and you don't know how helpful they could be in your life, in your career in the future. So those relationships are very important. I know it is important that you achieve your academic goals. I know it's important you get that job, but it is also important that you build those relationships. Like, try to offer help as much as you can. If you notice your classmate is recruiting for the same industry you are coming from, offer help. If you are invited to some social events, go as much as you can. All these things help. And when you graduate, what those people remember aren't like they likely don't even know your grades. They likely don't even remember where you're working, but they remember those times that you worked on a project together. They remember those times that you grabbed coffee together. They remember those times that you had a drink together, or you spent time at a movie night or something together. Those are the things that people remember, or how you made them feel, what you guys did, the funny things you guys did together. So have that goal to actually build relationships with people as you come to grad school. This is very important. You need to ask people to grab coffee with them. You need to offer help. You need to have fun with people as much as you can. And I understand that grad school sometimes is super overwhelming, like there's so much in your face and you're just struggling and trying to survive and still get the right grades that you need. I understand that. Of course, you have to do this as much as you can. Don't go beyond what your capacity is for this. And also, you just have to be genuinely interested in these people. Don't just do it because, oh, I have to build 5 relationships, or I don't even know how that sounds, but I have to meet 5 people this week, or I have to meet 10 random people this week. Try to be genuinely interested in people, and you get better at these things, really. So I think that is something that many international students don't do when they come for their grad programs. I'm also in that bucket of people that don't super do that. But I think it is so valuable. I wish I paid more attention to it. Of course I got better at it, but that's something that I'm really hoping you get from this video. Have that as your third goal. From your career goal and your academic goals, also have that goal of building relationships, because that is a huge network of people. Your 350 classmates, your 150 classmates, that's a huge network, and they're going to be all over the world doing really amazing stuff, or just different things, and that network can save you or can help you in future. And the way to do that is, they don't even know your grades, is to actually make an effort to know people. You also have to be willing to get to know people. You have to be willing to help people. You have to be willing to just find out more about them, and I think this is very important. Another thing I wish I knew is that it is very important to document. In grad school, you get a lot of resources. Some classes you have 10 readings to do every week, and you find out that some of those, of course some are compulsory, some are optional for you to read. You can get away with reading 2 of those 10 and you do great in your exams or in your assessments. But what you find is, many times you read 2 or you read 3 and you're fine, or you read 5. You barely ever read all the 10 or all the 8 before every single class. But what I wish I knew was, it is important to document some of these things, some of these articles or case studies, or companies mentioned, some of these videos or resources that I don't super find helpful today or necessary for this class or to pass this assessment, but could be useful in future. So have a sort of document, or however you document things, and write down some of these articles, the links, some of these case studies, some videos. Just maybe write a short topic for each of them, just something you can refer to in the future. Because what you notice is, once you graduate and you're working on a particular project or you're working on a specific job, some of those resources would now be more helpful. Some jobs that you would do, you would be better off if you leverage some of those resources. And sometimes this might seem easy, it gets so difficult to find those resources. They might not be online anymore. It might be someone's contact that your professor mentioned. It might be a case study that was written so many years ago, but some of the learnings are very relevant for what you do today. I think, you need to document things once you start your grad program. All those documents that you think aren't super necessary now just to get through the class, they become necessary in the future. There are things that you could just document somewhere and refer back to them once you start working, or once you graduate and are working on a project, or there's an issue and you want to have an informed opinion. Those are things you leverage, you can go through all over again. So I definitely recommend that you start documenting if you're in grad school and you lose access to some of these files or some of these contacts or some of these organizations once you graduate. So documenting really helps. I also like to document people that I reached out to. Maybe I'm trying to get a job, I reached out to these people, but they weren't quite helpful this time, but they work on an interesting project, or they had this experience that I find super different, I can document that and refer back to those people, reach out to those people 5 years later, 2 years later, and I wish I just did this more. So it's something that I think you should pay attention to, because you might just land a job or start a company and those resources will be useful to you. One more thing I wish I knew is how to develop my interest, or how to take advantage of the resources in some of these schools to develop things that you're interested in or your passion. I think that is something that you just need to prepare your mind to take advantage of as you prepare to go to grad school. So in many of these schools, there's a lot of opportunity to develop that interest, that passion project, that thing you've always wanted to do. And depending on what country you're coming from, like I'm Nigerian and I schooled in Nigeria before coming to the US, it was more like the focus is academics first. Other things are like bottom. But when you come to these programs, you have that opportunity through electives, through club activities, through events on campus, to really develop those interests and passions that you have. So what I'm saying is, if you are interested in something, or you think like post-grad school, this is something that I want to do either as my own company or work with a company that does this, grad school is an excellent opportunity for you to test it out. It's an excellent opportunity for you to meet the people that matter in that field. It's an excellent opportunity for you to develop leadership skills that may be necessary for that role, or for that passion project, or for that company you want to start. So if you're interested in journalism and you've never done anything like that before, there are clubs on campus that don't require you to be a journalist to actually join the club or to lead the club. So you can start publishing if that's an area you're interested in. You can start you can start a lot of things. You can start like a seminar series on campus. You can bring all the people in that industry that that have a voice in that space to campus. You can write to them. Like, there's just a world of opportunities for you to develop that interest. And I think that those 2 years or that 1 year, depending on the duration of your program, is very important. Like, you can actually take on leadership roles and lead huge teams on campus. Those leadership experiences that would help you once you graduate and you now have to lead a team, or you have to work with people with a different kind of background. Those are skills that maybe you didn't have before grad school, and grad school is a great opportunity to try them out. If you're interested in a specific career but you're unsure, grad school is a great opportunity to try it out. Maybe work with a classmate that has a startup and see, if I play this kind of role, will I like it? Is this something that I would find interesting? It's an opportunity to actually try things out. And do this in form of electives, do this in form of clubs, do this in form of seminars you attend, events that you plan. It's a whole lot. So that's something I think you should pay attention to as you prepare yourself for grad school. You don't have to have things like all figured out, but just have an idea what you're interested in or things you want to explore, and those 2 years are like great opportunity for you to explore. If you're a current student or you recently graduated as well, let me know in the comment section some things you wish you knew before you started grad school. I'm really curious, to know what your experiences were and really learn from your experience as well. So thanks for watching this video. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and be sure to subscribe to my channel so you see more videos like this, and click the notification bell so you're the first to know when I post videos. Thanks a lot, and I look forward to seeing you in my next video.